You're locked into Marawa Sports Worldwide.
And Argentina, the world champions, are going to the 2026 final.
Tariq Panja is on standby. He is in Atlanta. 39-year-old called Lionel Messi. I mean, he continues to decide the biggest of games. I mean, can England realistically contain him?
As he gets into the penalty area.
Oh, this one's on target.
Who's got the tougher job here? I mean, is it Mark Gay? Is it Nico O'Reilly?
It's a good question, but then you have to think about the journey that Argentina have had. For all the suffering, on paper, the route they've had to this semi-final has not put them against a kind of top-tier football nation until now, the semi-final.
You can't say they don't deserve it. They do. They do deserve to be back on level terms, and that is some hit from Enzo Fernandez. It's a brilliant strike.
Robert Marawa. This is the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Hi, Rob. Greetings to you and everyone who is listening to the show. This is Joy from What Villain Benoni. Rob, if there were some people that were doubting why Messi is called the greatest of all times, and if there are some that didn't really understand what it meant, I think last night they've got all the answers. Now they understand fully why he's called the God. And on Sunday, he's going to prove it again. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Evening, Rob. Gift here. Evening to you as well as all the MSW shareholders. Well, I've got two theories, Rob, but I'd like to break them into four. And please bear with me. They won't take as long as the halftime show in the World Cup final. One, Rob. Isn't it ironic that the song Don't Cry For Me, Argentina was actually originally sung by a British singer? Because, I mean, the British have never been as intensely and as heartbroken as much as the Argentine Footballer Federation. Number two, before last night, it was 21 years since the two teams last met. And that number 21 is very significant because two of Argentina's greatest football players, 40 years apart, both beat England by the very same score margin, which was 2-1. So I dubbed them the hand of God as well as the foot of God last night. And number three, Rob. Now there are three hosts in the World Cup final, but prior to that, it was hosted 3 times before in the North America. And well, you do know what happened. When it was hosted 3 times it was won by a team from South America. Brazil in the 50s. 86 was Maradona, and well, Brazil also did it in 1994. And well, number 4, Rob. When it comes to continental glory, in the modern era of football, only 2 teams have been able to win their Continental Cup and defend it, plus win the World Cup in between. And that is Spain as well as Argentina. So it is not by any mistake that they had to meet in the final. And this means that the fourth theory, Messi will be the only player and Argentina will be the only ones to win it for the second time. That is the World Cup after defending their continental glory. So like the song says by DJ Clock, Maradona is here next door and Messi uzobuya ngo 4. Hey!
Okay, Gift. You are the gift that keeps on giving. Gift. My goodness, what a historical as well as a mathematical lesson that you've given us there. Everything from Don't Cry For Me, Argentina, telling us who masterminded that song, to number 21, 2-1 and 2-1, to also the hand and the foot of God. Yeah, both made by our creator, of course. Spain and Argentina in the modern era meeting, and deservedly so. So, Gift, thank you so much indeed for opening up our brain cells. It's something that the likes of Dricus would love to smash and destroy. But that's why the big countdown is over. South Africa is holding its breath, guys. I mean, the pride of Mzansi. Dricus still knocks. Du Plessis is back under the brightest of lights, though, in mixed martial arts. He's in for another defending and defining chapter. Everybody's talking about this, eh? And standing across him is one of the sport's greatest competitors, the former welterweight king, Kamara Uzman. in a blockbuster middleweight showdown that has got the combat sports world talking and talking and talking, and they have been. If you've been following the social media platforms, believe you me, that's what's happening. I mean, the stare-downs have been intense. The respect between the two has also been unmistakable. Even Dricus, the cowboy hat has become a talking point ahead of the fight in Oklahoma City. But when that octagon door does close, only one man is going to leave with his reputation enhanced. And that's why we decided, only one person can make sense of all of this. And we head off now. We go worldwide to the United States of America. Is one of South Africa's foremost combat sports voices, super sport combat sport reporter, Sias du Plessis, who's been on the ground covering every moment leading up to this massive, massive UFC event. Sias, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to MSW.
Rob, it's always good to be on the show and to be chatting about mixed martial arts. And of course, we find ourselves in Oklahoma City, in the slap bang in the middle of the United States. And I think now that sort of the noise around the World Cup in a way has quietened down, the focus is now shifting very much to other sports. And so far, the UFC is now taking center stage because it hasn't been in Oklahoma City for over 10 years. So the locals are buzzing. The combat sports fans are buzzing. And, it's headed to the home of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Paycom Center. So it's a fantastic arena. We're going there, of course, tomorrow for the ceremonial weigh-ins. But at this point in time, all the talk is about Dricus du Plessis, Kamara Uzman doing battle in the UFC. The two former champions, both Africans, although Kamaru is based in the US, is proudly Nigerian. So it's a showdown that many, many people are talking about.
Sure. And we're going to get into the fight and the details shortly. But let me start off on something pretty light because we see it. I mean, he arrived, Dricus now arriving wearing a cowboy hat during the fight week. I mean, what's the story behind that? And is he trying to send a message somewhere?
He's always embraced wherever he's been. And he said the moment he touched down in Oklahoma City 2 weeks ago, he went and found his Stetson hat. It's not just the hat. There's a belt. There's boots. There is the denims. He's gone all out to blend in with the locals. This is apparently his cowboy country. I don't see many cowboys running around, to be honest, but Dricus du Plessis certainly turned up as a cowboy and surprised many people. He did all his media interviews with the hats. He's all over social media. And when he faced off with Kamara Uzman, he was in his boots with his hat on, and he looked enormous for middleweight. He almost dwarfed Kamaru Uzman. So that's been a big talking point. But he said he wants to embrace the local lifestyle, the local culture, and show respect to the people of Oklahoma City.
Well, he should have given us a call, though. I had a cowboy hat coming through from the Durban July last week. I would have passed it on gladly to him because I got no use for it now moving forward in my life. Now, Sias, despite admitting, though, that they don't particularly like each other, there's also been a noticeable level of mutual respect between Dricus as well as Kamaru. What do you make of the dynamic, though, from your observation?
So one thing that stood out for me yesterday was that Kamaru Uzman said he is a money weight fighter. And I know you love your boxing and you followed the sport for a long time. But for me, that signals that someone is purely in it for the money, right? And I know Kamaru Uzman has been the welterweight champion. This is only his second fight at middleweight. And when he did fight Khamzat Chimaev, they fought at middleweight, but it was because both of them couldn't make welterweight. So the UFC kind of bumped it up to middleweight. So this is really his first ever fight where he takes on someone who is a legitimate middleweight. The two of them have very much said that there is a lot of respect, but there is an undertone that Kamaru is doing this just to get the paycheck. He's 39 years old. He's looking at a run at the belt, but his trajectory is very different to Dricus. Dricus sitting at 31 years old. He's definitely making a run for the belt. He is smarting after the loss to Chimaev. But the two of them have definitely come out and respected each other's careers because for what they've done for African MMA is unbelievable. Dricus has followed in the footsteps of the likes of Israel Adesanya, Francis Ngannou, Kamara Uzman, but he's now kicking down the door for himself and putting South African MMA on the map. So there is an undertone of immense respect for one another, but Dricus is not looking past Kamaru. So he knows he has to get his ducks in a row to get past the Nigerian nightmare.
Sure. And what do you talk about the issue of the weigh-ins here, Sias? And during the face-off, and one could see Dricus appearing visibly bigger than Usman. I mean, could that size advantage play a decisive role, though, once they're inside that octagon?
Absolutely, Rob. There's no doubt, like, Dricus walks around at 105 kgs when he's not cutting weight. He'll come down to, tonight he would want to be somewhere in the range of maybe 500 grams to a kilogram away from that goal weight of 84 when he comes on the scales tomorrow morning here in Oklahoma City. But when he rehydrates, he swells up and he's over 90. He is massive for middleweight. And I think Kamara Uzman cannot afford to strike with Dricus du Plessis. Firstly, I think Dricus hits from all different angles, but it will be the wrestling that Kamaru will want to prove. He will want to go after Dricus's wrestling and try and impose himself there. Dricus, though, on the other hand, will welcome that challenge. They've been working tirelessly for 10 months on their wrestling after that defeat to Chimaev. So we'll have to wait and see. But the size is going to be a big thing. If Kamara ends up on his back and we've got someone like Dricus who's in top control and is imposing his will on him, Kamara's in for a long night, but at the same time, this is fight sports. Anything can happen.
One question that I'm picking up here from the social media circles, Sias, and they're asking me to ask you, saying that, Dricus has been away from competition, as we all know, for quite a few months now. What are you expecting from him, from a physicality perspective and also from a mentality perspective?
His mentality is so calm, so laser focused. The way he navigates media now, how he conducts himself. They've learned so much since he made his UFC debut in 2020. I mean, which is bizarre. It's like 6 years ago. Time flies, right? This is his 11th fight in the UFC. It's crazy to think how far he's come from a mental point of view. But I don't know if you can picture a caged animal that has been stuck somewhere where they are absolutely dying to escape and get back into the wild and again hunt their prey. That is Dricus du Plessis right now.
What a description.
He's a caged animal looking to hunt for prey, and he wants the prey that has the belt at the moment, and that's Sean Strickland. But he has to get past Kamara Uzman first.
Sure. What an apt way of describing that. But having watched both men, during fight week, who has looked more comfortable? Who's looked more confident? I know you've just described Dricus now, just in terms of how he's handling everything, including media. But from a fight perspective, during the fight week, which is so important, especially from a zoning in point of view.
Kamaru is an absolute pro when it comes to doing media interviews. He skirted several questions. He kind of alluded to the fact that he would be happy going back to middleweight to fight Islam Makhachev. He was quite happy being at middleweight to see what happened in that weight division. He is a very good broadcaster. He's got his own YouTube channel and podcast, so very comfortable behind the mic. And he really did exude confidence. So I think it's difficult to read too much into those things. But like I said earlier, he did say he's a money weight fighter. And for me, that means he's purely in it for the money. And I wonder if his desire and heart is going to be there when he faces this caged animal from South Africa on Saturday night here in Oklahoma City. We'll have to wait and see. But Kamara is a pro. He's been around a long time. He's a future Hall of Famer. He deserves all the respect in the world for what he's achieved. But I just get the feeling that Dricus probably wants this a little bit more just because of where he is in his career.
And if we go along with that narrative, maybe as a final question to you, Sias, and if Dricus does win and win convincingly, what does that mean, though, for his future in the UFC middleweight division?
That's a great question. He was quizzed on that yesterday, and it looks like the UFC is trying to put together Sean Strickland against Imavov, which is maybe in December, because Strickland has the injury. He's undergone the rehab, so he's out for a while. Imavov doesn't want to fight Khamzat Chimaev. So it looks like those two are going to fight for the belt. And I have a feeling that should Dricus get past Kamara Uzman, he'll fight the winner of those two. And he will be quite happy to fight Sean Strickland for the third time and claim his belt. But let's see. This is the fight game. Anything can happen. Fights get made. They don't happen. Other fights get made. People step in, win the title. It's the gift that keeps on giving is combat sports.
Well, that's why what you gave to me, Sias, and making me love the sport is exactly why you're the best in the business when it comes to UFC. And you break it down so beautifully. It's going to be another crazy morning for us to wake up and watch the fight. But you know what? Because I've gotten used to it now, I will gladly set that alarm clock. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Anytime, my man. You take care. We'll chat soon, yeah?
Thanks so much. That's Supersport Combat Sports reporter Sias du Plessis coming through live from the United States of America. As you heard him say with a twang, from Oklahoma City, my man.